You burst free from your eggshell into the hot, muggy heat of the Southeast Asian rainforest. Mom watches proudly as you and your 27 siblings hatch, then quickly realizes parenting means responsibility. No thanks, peace out. She vanishes into the foliage without even a goodbye hiss, knowing full well you face a most certain death. But hey, abandonment builds character, right? For now, you and your siblings frantically scatter in all directions for safety. He was one heck of a sibling. At the moment, you're barely longer than a pencil, and yes, it's kind of adorable. Eagles circle high above, while monitor lizards sift through the undergrowth of the forest floor. Even a hungry mongoose would happily turn your tiny noodle body into chow mein if it got the chance. You don't have the size or strength to scare off predators yet, but what you do have are those bright stripes running down your back, nature's neon sign announcing that you're venomous. It's basically an advertisement saying, "Eat me and you'll find out." Even as a hatchling, you're fully equipped with functional venom glands and tiny, needle-sharp fangs, ready to deliver a deadly strike. You manage to survive the bloodbath of your first day of life, slipping quietly into the shade of a hollow log. Your dark olive scales blend seamlessly into the shadows as you lie perfectly still, nearly invisible. After all, you're an ambush predator, right? Survival doesn't depend on bravery, but rather on patiently waiting for the perfect moment to strike. You flick your tongue, tasting the air. The rainforest smells of wet leaves, mossy bark, and a tree frog? There, a tree frog, hopping carelessly across the forest floor, its tiny legs stretching and contracting with each oblivious leap closer. You carefully coil your small body, eyes locked, muscles tightly wound like a loaded spring. Your forked tongue flicks the air, tasting the faintest chemical trail, a whisper of the frog's presence. Closer, closer, and then, like lightning, you strike. Your fangs pierce the frog's skin, injecting potent venom that floods its bloodstream, immobilizing it and shutting down its nervous system. When the frog goes limp, you swallow it whole in one satisfying gulp. It's your first true victory. Small in scale, but a huge boost to your confidence. You're determined to grow quickly. In this rainforest, survival means becoming bigger, stronger, and mastering the art of a stealthy strike. Fast forward a couple of years and, congratulations, you're officially a teenage terror. At 2 years old and stretching close to 4 feet of pure serpentine muscle, you're climbing the food chain and fast. Frogs are still on the menu, but you've developed a taste for something a bit more tasty: other snakes. You're quite the indiscriminate snake hunter, taking down anything slithering in your path, venomous or not. Pythons, vipers, even other cobras. If it's got scales and isn't bigger than you, it's fair game. Phew, that was close. Don't get cocky just yet. Being called a king doesn't mean you're untouchable. There are still plenty of creatures out here that would love to knock you off your throne. And at the top of that list, the mongoose. Fast, fearless, and immune to your venom, it wouldn't hesitate to turn you into a quick snack if given the chance. On one particularly sunny morning, you're sunbathing on a warm patch of rainforest floor, soaking in the heat like royalty. But your moment of relaxation is cut short by a faint rustle in the undergrowth behind you. You freeze. Then you see them, sharp yellow eyes locked onto yours. A leopard, and it looks hungry. You flare your hood dramatically, lifting the front third of your body off the ground, doing your best impression of a terrifying noodle monster. The low, resonant hiss you unleash is an ancient warning, one that's been hardwired into the instincts of every predator in this jungle. It doesn't just say back off, it promises venom, pain, and a really bad day. The leopard freezes, ears twitching as your hiss cuts through the jungle air like a warning siren. It doesn't matter if it's ever faced a King Cobra before. Evolution has already taught it that this is a fight not worth having. After a long, tense stare down, it makes the smart choice. With a flick of its tail, it slinks back into the undergrowth, deciding that breakfast should come with fewer consequences. Victory. You lower your hood and settle back down, triumphant. But don't get too comfortable. Nature has other plans. The rainy season has arrived. Monsoon clouds roll in, darkening the skies, and within minutes, the heavens unleash a relentless downpour. Rain hammers the canopy, dripping through the leaves and pooling across the jungle floor. Rivers and streams swell with alarming speed, transforming your once familiar hunting grounds into a swirling mess of muddy currents. The forest floor is vanishing beneath rising water, and suddenly, being a ground-dwelling predator isn't looking so great. You're not exactly built for tree life. No arms, no legs, and absolutely zero climbing experience. But right now, you don't have a choice. Survival demands it. You pull yourself upward, wrapping your lengthy body around branches as you ascend. Higher and higher you go, slithering into unfamiliar territory where new dangers lurk. High above the flooding, you manage to find refuge among the sturdy branches of a towering tree. But there's a catch. Up here, you're way out of your element, and you're exposed. No undergrowth to hide in, and a whole new set of predators who have marked this flood in their calendar as an all-you-can-eat buffet. Large raptors circle overhead, scanning for creatures forced out of their usual hiding spots. You press yourself flat against the bark, motionless, hoping that if you just pretend you're not here, they'll move on. Hours pass. The floodwaters finally begin their retreat from the rainforest floor. Carefully, you descend. Your body touches solid ground again, and you exhale, relieved. Oh wait, what's this? A baby Burmese python emerging from the floodwaters, slithering right into your strike zone. It's small, sure, but don't let that fool you. It's pure muscle. You pause, sizing it up. Should you go for it? It's been a while since you've tested just how much venom you're working with these days. Why not? You glide silently through the dense undergrowth, inching closer to the unsuspecting baby python. Every muscle tightens, your body coiling into a perfect spring. You wait for the right moment, calculating the strike, and then... Turns out, it wasn't as tough as you expected. That's your first real taste of what it means to be a true predator of snakes. But don't get ahead of yourself. There are days when your prey outsmarts you, like that one time you misjudged your strike on a rat snake and it nearly suffocated you. Yeah, that wasn't your finest moment, but don't worry, no one was around to witness that humiliation. Every successful hunt pushes you further up the ranks. With each meal, you grow longer, faster, deadlier. What once felt like an endless, unforgiving jungle now feels like your personal arena, and you're becoming the star predator. Fast forward, and you're 5 years old now. Congratulations, you're one of the lucky few who have made it to adulthood. At over 15 feet long, you're a true jungle monster, and no one's idea of an easy meal. Even leopards, the same ones that once had you frozen in fear, now give you the right of way on the forest floor. Only the biggest crocodiles still entertain the idea of taking you down, but even they know it won't be easy. You're no longer just surviving, you're ruling. But today, there's a challenger. Another male King Cobra, nearly your size, slithering boldly into your territory. He lifts his hood in defiance. Your muscles tighten. There's no room for two kings here. It's time for a territorial showdown. Both of you circle each other slowly, hoods flared wide, bodies lifted high off the ground. It's a tense standoff. Neither of you wants to make the first move, but neither of you are backing down. Then, in a flash, he lunges. You strike back, and within seconds, your bodies are twisted together in a chaotic, coiled struggle for dominance. This combat dance lasts hours, each of you pushing and pulling, struggling to pin the other down. Your muscles burn, and exhaustion is creeping in. Then finally, your opponent falters. His coils loosen, and he retreats. Victory! The rainforest is still your kingdom, and it's time to secure your legacy. You flick your tongue, tasting the air. Pheromones. Love is in the air. You glide purposefully through the jungle floor, and finally, you spot her. An elegant lady laying in the shadows. What a beauty! She flares her hood, cautiously assessing you. You pause, displaying your impressive hood, rising gracefully to meet her gaze, nature's version of sliding into her DMs. There's no flashy display, no unnecessary theatrics, just a silent, careful exchange of signals. She lets the tension linger for a moment, a test of trust. Then, slowly, she lowers her hood, signaling acceptance. Success! You've finally found the queen to your kingdom. The courtship begins. Your bodies intertwine in a slow, twisting embrace, coiling around each other in perfect rhythm. No rush. This ritual is a marathon, not a sprint. Then, finally, after several hours, the deed is done. Without so much as a farewell flick of her tongue, she immediately slithers off into the jungle, leaving you wondering if she ever really had feelings for you. Used? Absolutely. Abused? Maybe. But hey, at least you secured your legacy. For her, the hard work is just beginning. She meticulously gathers leaves and forest debris, crafting a nest, a rare skill among snakes. Bit by bit, she forms a protective mound, a leafy fortress designed to keep her future offspring safe and warm. Over the next few weeks, she lays her clutch of 30 eggs, tucking them carefully into their hidden sanctuary. And then she waits. Coiled tightly around her nest, she stands guard, refusing to eat and surviving on sheer determination alone. For nearly 2 months, she remains unwavering, ready to strike at anything foolish enough to come too close. Then, at last, tiny king cobras begin to hatch, bursting from their shells and scattering into the jungle. All right, enough about the kids. Let's check back in on you. You're settling back into your old routine when new danger arrives. Distant, unnatural sounds echo through the jungle. Your tongue flicks anxiously, tasting the sharp tang of metal, smoke, and gasoline. Scents that don't belong here. Humans. You watch cautiously from the shadows as they move through the forest, setting traps and carrying nets. They're poachers, and to them, you're just a paycheck. Apparently, someone out there thinks cobra skin handbags are more important than you staying alive. And it's not just your skin they're after. Your venom and body parts fetch a high price in the black market medicine market throughout Asia. People believe your venom can cure diseases, boost vitality, or even grant mystical powers. Even worse, you could be captured alive, your fangs ripped out and your venom glands crudely removed, all so you can entertain tourists in roadside snake charming shows, bobbing your head to a flute you can't even hear. Yeah, let's pass on that. You've seen siblings beheaded for absolutely no reason. Villagers see your kind as threats to their families or livestock, an enemy to be eliminated on sight. In reality, you play a crucial role in keeping the ecosystem in check, controlling pests and maintaining balance. But try explaining that to someone holding a machete. A sudden rustle snaps you from your thoughts. A net sweeps down toward you. You lunge, twisting your body just in time, barely dodging the net. The metal mesh grazes your scales as you dive down, weaving frantically through twisted roots. Only after finding safety do you pause, heart pounding, silently listening as the poachers' voices fade into the distance. Phew, that was a close one. But hey, you live to see another day. Fast forward a decade, and congratulations, you've reached your golden years. You're 15 years old now, and your old age is starting to show. Once a sleek, venomous powerhouse feared by every creature in the rainforest, you're now a cranky serpent whose reflexes aren't quite what they used to be. Every hunt feels like an exhausting battle, and each meal feels dangerously close to your last. You're resting in the shade when you sense a presence approaching. Another snake. A younger, stronger King Cobra emerges, slithering confidently towards you. You lift your head slightly, flaring your hood. Back off, kid, I built this kingdom. But he doesn't care. He's eyeing your prime hunting grounds. He strikes first, fangs bared. You react instinctively, fangs exposed, but your timing is off. He's already delivering a venomous bite. You retaliate, sinking your fangs in as well. But you can feel your strength waning, your venom glands not replenishing like they once did. The younger Cobra backs off momentarily, watching as you struggle. You feel the venom pulsing through your system. In one final effort, you retreat into the jungle, knowing deep down that your reign is ending. The rainforest empire you built won't be yours for much longer. Days pass. You're weaker and hungrier than ever before. Starvation clouds your instincts, blurring the line between what's possible and what's a really bad idea. You set your sights on a python, bigger than your usual prey. But hey, you used to handle snakes like this, right? You glide into position, muscles tensing. But just as you strike, the python moves first. It whips around with lightning speed, meeting you head on. No fear, no hesitation. Before you can react, its powerful coils brutally wrap around you, squeezing with crushing force. You thrash, you twist, but the grip tightens, your vision darkens. This is not how things were supposed to go. With the last bit of strength you have left, you sink your fangs deep into its scales, pumping venom into its body. The python spasms, momentarily dazed. Its coils loosen, just enough for you to slip free and make your escape. It's your first failed hunt in a long time. The weight of the years is finally catching up with you. Oh look, over there, it's that mongoose you've faced off against so many times before. You rise tall, hissing sharply as a final warning. But this guy's unimpressed. He's clearly seen your big, scary snake act before, and today he's calling your bluff. He darts forward, agile and precise, dodging your strike. Great. What a way to go. Taken down by the mongoose who spent its entire life plotting your downfall.